Things often ruin the chase. It may sound strange, but the moment you stop trying so hard, everything changes. As soon as you stop treating him like a prize and instead realize that you're the one with options, men notice that. They sense an attraction, an emotional curiosity that makes them desire you. Let's get one thing straight. This is not about manipulation. It's not about playing games. It's about understanding the psychology of attraction and using it to set yourself apart from the 99% of women still stuck in outdated mindsets. You see, men aren't attracted to excessive effort. They're drawn to presence, mystery, confidence, to a woman who knows who she is, who doesn't need him, but chooses him. But here's the catch. Most women ruin this dynamic within the first few days of getting to know a man. They send too many messages, give compliments too early, try compulsively to prove they're special. And every time they do that, they become predictable. And predictability kills attraction. In this video, you'll learn about the psychological shifts that make him want to win you over. This isn't about cheesy flirting tips or weird tactics. It's about real, subtle changes in the way you speak, move, and think that completely shift the energy of your interactions. If you've ever felt like men lose interest quickly, if you've wondered why he was so into you at first and suddenly grew cold, or if you're just tired of always being the one chasing, then this video will change your perspective and maybe even your love life. Let's begin. Stop being the first to text him. If he never has to wonder what you're doing or how you are, he'll never chase you. One of the most common mistakes women make is always taking the first step. It seems polite, it seems proactive, but to him, it's predictable. It signals that you're more interested than he is. And once that imbalance is felt, he loses interest. And you see, attraction thrives on tension, not chaos or confusion, but healthy emotional tension, the kind that makes him wonder, what is she thinking? What is she doing? Why hasn't she reached out? That wondering is the beginning of pursuit. If you always text first, you take away his chance to show interest. He has no opportunity to wonder, no chance to take initiative. And he feels no internal motivation to engage. You're doing all the emotional labor, and that's not attractive. A man wants to feel like he's choosing a woman, not like a desperate woman is desperately seeking his attention. And here's the point many women don't get. You don't have to ignore him. You just need to break the pattern. If you used to text him every morning or always started the conversations, stop. Let him make the next move. And when he does, don't act surprised. Just respond calmly, as if it's the most normal thing in the world. That simple shift changes the entire dynamic. Let's say you're used to texting him first every day. Try not doing it for 2 or 3 days and watch what happens. Maybe he'll be quiet at first, but if he's even slightly interested, he'll feel the silence. And that silence creates space for desire to grow. Men don't seek women who are always available. They seek women who know their worth and don't need to prove it. If he texts you after you've been quiet, that's a good sign. Don't fall into the trap of justifying or explaining yourself. Just respond like always, calm, confident, unfazed. Because when you stop being the one to reach out first, you stop chasing. And that's exactly when he starts. Become his emotional mystery. Men don't look for women they fully understand. They look for women who stir emotions in them that even they can't fully explain. If he can read you like an open book, he'll quickly categorize you and set you aside. But if you spark his curiosity, if you give him something to decode, his mind will stay with you, even when you're not there. It's not about being dishonest or mysterious for no reason. It's about not revealing everything immediately. Most women make the mistake of telling their whole life story in the first conversation, their feelings, intentions, past. But that doesn't build a connection, it kills the tension. And if a man feels like he knows exactly what you think, where you are, and how you feel about him, he loses interest. Because no questions, no pursuit. Instead, be a woman with depth. Speak less about your emotions at the beginning. Answer his questions honestly, but don't feel the need to fill every pause. Sometimes a silent moment says more than 1,000 words. Talk about things in your life that show you're interesting, but leave room for questions. Be loving, but not constantly available. Be kind, but not overly sweet. Be funny, but grounded. Occasionally let him feel like he has to guess your next move. Let him feel your presence without fully understanding it. Imagine he asks you, "What do you do for fun?" Instead of listing hobbies like a resume, smile and say, "Depends on the day. Sometimes I disappear completely, and sometimes I'm the life of the party." It's not about confusing him. It's about sparking his imagination, giving him a reason to think about you, even long after the conversation ends. Because if you're an emotional mystery, and not an open picture, he'll want to keep playing the game. And the best part, the more he tries to understand you, the deeper his emotional connection will grow. Be simple on the outside, complex on the inside. Be open, but never transparent. That's how you get him to chase you. Be less available, not rude. There's a difference between being desired and being too easy to reach. Most women confuse availability with value. They think constant access, instant replies, and endless readiness show how loyal and interested they are. But the reality is, men don't value what's always in front of them. They value what's rare, what seems valuable, what must be earned. Being less available doesn't mean ignoring him or being cold. It just means your life doesn't revolve around his attention. And that alone is true strength. If you're always available, he feels no urge to act, no sense of urgency, and without urgency, there's no chase. But if you create space, emotionally, mentally, and physically, you give him the chance to feel something real, that "where is she" feeling, that little spark of curiosity. That's exactly where interest begins. If he knows he can count on you at any time, you stop being something special. But if you have your own rhythm, your own schedule, and don't drop everything for him, he begins to see your time as something valuable. And that's exactly what changes the dynamic. You're not punishing him, you're not ignoring him, you're simply not dependent on his attention to feel good. And that's attractive. Every woman who knows her worth understands this. Being constantly available makes you replaceable. Being a little unpredictable makes you unforgettable. Don't try to prove your loyalty at the beginning. Let him come to you. Let him feel he needs a reason to get closer. That's how the chase begins. Give him space to miss you. Here's the hard truth. Most women never give a man the chance to miss them. They shower him with attention, flood him with messages, try to always be present, and then wonder, why is he pulling away? Why is he losing interest? Why isn't he chasing me? Because he never had the opportunity to feel your absence. Attraction grows in space, not in closeness. Yet many women fear silence. They believe, if I stop texting, he'll forget me. If I don't call, another woman will take my place. That fear holds them back, and that very dependency destroys the tension. Wake up. If he's truly interested, he needs time to feel it. And that can only happen if you take a step back and give his emotions room, so that he starts chasing you. It's not just about him wanting you, it's about giving him space to realize that he wants you. Let him feel the stillness, let him miss your voice, let him wonder, why didn't she call today? That question is the fuel for his desire. Because when you're constantly present, always reminding him that you're there, always trying to stay in his mind, you achieve the opposite. You become background noise, and no man chases background noise. So here's your reminder. Don't be afraid to pull back. Stop thinking that constant presence is the way to win him over, because the women who are pursued are the ones who know when to step back so that he can step forward. Give him space. He'll either miss you or replace you, but either way, you'll know where you truly stand. And that's better than chasing someone who never moved toward you. Create moments of unpredictability. Because routine is where attraction dies. If he knows exactly what you'll say, how you'll behave, and when you'll text him, the spark disappears. And without emotion, there's no chase. Men are emotional beings. They respond to shifts in energy, to surprises, to things that feel alive and new. That's why there are women who may not even be the most beautiful, but are still constantly chased because they aren't boring, because they aren't predictable, and that's what makes them magnetic. Being unpredictable doesn't mean being unstable. It means being confidently unreadable. You don't have to do anything crazy, you just have to stop being predictable. Stop texting him good morning every day. Don't be available every night. Break the pattern he's gotten used to. If he can't immediately reach you, he starts thinking about you. Suddenly, you become someone he doesn't quite understand. And that curiosity turns into attraction. Because guess what? Curiosity draws attention. Attention leads to emotional investment. And emotional investment is exactly what triggers the chase. The problem with most women is that they're too careful, too predictable, too easy to figure out. And although men often say they want a sweet, stable woman, what really fascinates them is a woman who can surprise them without being chaotic. So, show up when he least expects it. Change your tone. Pull back when the energy gets too intense. Be playful one day, more reserved the next. Keep him on his toes, not confused, but intrigued. And make him wonder what you're thinking. Even make his friends curious. Spark his desire to uncover you, because the woman he can't fully read is the one he chases. Stop overpraising him. Nothing kills attraction faster than a woman who treats him like a god before he's earned that position. Many women believe compliments are the key. They think that if they praise his looks, his smile, his voice, he'll feel special and fall in love. But the truth is, too many compliments come off as desperate. They show him that you're too impressed, that you're trying to win him over with flattery, and that you've probably said the same thing to 10 other men before. Men sense energy that seeks validation from miles away. Compliments should be rare, sincere, and impactful, not like confetti. The more often you give them, the less they mean, and if he starts expecting them, they lose their effect. You're not his fan, you're the woman he should want to impress. So, flip the script. Instead of constantly validating him, make him work for your attention. Let him wonder what you're thinking. Let him feel your presence without constantly showering him with praise. When he does receive a compliment from you, it should feel earned. That's what makes it powerful. If everyone else calls him attractive, your silence stands out. If everyone else wants his approval, you're the one whose approval he seeks. That's the difference between a woman who gets overlooked and one who gets chased. It's not about being cold. It's about having standards. Showing him that you're not impressed by appearances, but by depth. Keep your compliments brief. Make them genuine. Don't give him any reason to think he already has you, because the moment he feels he no longer needs to earn your approval, he stops chasing you. Let silence create tension. Most women are afraid of silence. They try to fill every gap in conversation, every pause with more words, more emojis, more explanations. But the truth is, silence is powerful. It creates tension, and tension is the engine of attraction. When you allow silence, you create space for real emotion. You let his mind wander, his imagination play, and he begins to feel you beyond the surface. And the problem is, many women believe silence means something's wrong. They panic, over-message, send 2 texts in a row, and destroy the very energy that could have captivated him. Think about it. How often have you said something and immediately felt the need to explain it, or waited 2 minutes after his text and couldn't resist sending a follow-up just to keep the conversation going? That's not confidence, that's fear. And men feel it. When you give space to silence, you send a clear message. I'm not afraid of this moment. I don't feel insecure. I'm at home in my presence. And that calm is irresistible. You don't have to respond to everything he says right away. You don't have to comment on every one of his statements. Sometimes it's much more powerful to just let a moment pass without the urge to catch or smooth everything immediately, because that's exactly what draws him in. It makes him curious about your thoughts. It makes him long for your next word. Silence also creates contrast. If you're not always talking, your words carry more weight. If you're not always available, your presence becomes more valuable. When you show up, you're seen as a woman who understands the power of silence and therefore understands her own worth. So in your next conversation, stop keeping the talk alive as if it's your job. Lean back, pause, let silence speak. Create tension. It makes you unpredictable in the best way. And above all, it makes him work for the connection instead of just relaxing into convenience. Because silence isn't a lack, it's an invitation. Speak as if you have options. You don't need to say that other men are interested in you. You just need to sound like you could move on at any moment and still be completely grounded in yourself. That's what it means to speak as if you have options. It's not about bragging, not about showing off. It's about the energy you bring to every conversation. A calm, deep self-assurance that says, I don't chase anyone, I attract and choose wisely. Most women lose that energy the moment they meet someone they like. They shrink, overthink every word, censor themselves, want to please, try to seem perfect. And without realizing it, speak like a woman hoping to be chosen. But that energy kills attraction. When you speak as if you have options, everything changes. You don't reply in a rush. You don't seek validation. You don't panic if he pulls away, because you know you're not dependent, you're not desperate. And if it's not him, someone even better will come along. This attitude shows in your voice, in your body language, in how you respond to everything he says. It makes him take you more seriously. It makes him wonder if he's good enough for you, and not the other way around. And the best part, you don't need a line of men waiting for you to speak this way. You just need self-respect and emotional strength to mean it. Because a woman with options defines herself not by numbers, but by standards. When you speak as if your time is valuable, when you act as if your life is in order, when you're not afraid to be alone, he feels it. And that's the energy that drives him to pursue you. Not your compliments, not your effort, not your availability, but the quiet truth that you don't need him to be happy. You'd love to have him by your side, but only if he brings peace, not pressure. Speak as if you have options, because once you do, he'll start fighting for a place among them. Be the prize, not the fan. If you treat him like the reward, he'll treat you like the one doing the chasing. Many women put men on a pedestal. They treat them like the goal, the trophy, as if their attention is pure gold, as if their presence alone is a blessing. But remember, you're not here to worship him. You're here to decide whether he deserves it. And you know what that does? It shifts the whole power dynamic. It gives him control and turns you into the admirer, not the woman. Let's be clear. You are the prize, not because you're arrogant, not because you think you're better, but because you know what you have to offer. You know your worth, you know your standards, and you don't chase anyone who doesn't meet them. This attitude isn't about ego, it's about self-respect. If you act like a fan, you become predictable. You agree with everything, laugh at every joke, try too hard to be liked. And even if he enjoys the attention at first, deep down, he's not chasing you, he's just soaking up admiration. But when you act like the prize, you become the challenge. You create tension. You spark the desire in him to earn your interest, instead of just receiving it. Men desire women who see themselves as extraordinary, women who aren't impressed by looks, women who don't hand out approval just because he smiles, women who live a full life without him. And when you show up like that, he feels it. He feels that he has to bring something too, that he has to earn your closeness, that your presence isn't something to be used, but something to be respected. So, shift your energy. Stop idolizing him. Stop trying so hard. Stop playing the role of the woman who wants to win him at any cost. You're not here to earn his approval. You're here to see if he fits into your life. Be the prize, and he'll treat you like someone worth winning. Leave first, before he does. Most women wait too long. They feel the shift in energy. They sense that he's pulling away. But instead of walking away with dignity, they cling even more. Hoping to save it, to explain, to fix it, that's a mistake. And if he loses interest, don't beg. Walk yourself to the door. Leaving first doesn't mean being cold. It means being aware enough to recognize when the balance is lost and having enough self-respect to walk away with your head high. Because here's the truth. The woman who leaves first is never forgotten. The one who clings is always overlooked. When you walk away, you send a clear signal. Emotional control. You show him you're not afraid to let go. That your peace, your time, your energy are worth more than someone who doesn't reciprocate. In that moment, the game flips. Now he's the one wondering what happened. Now he's the one looking back. Now he's the one chasing it. You don't need to explain. You don't need to say much. Just pull your energy back, quietly, calmly, cleanly, because the woman who knows when to walk away is not the one chasing love. She's the one who gets found by it. So when the energy shifts, when his effort fades, when the fire begins to dim, don't wait for him to say goodbye. Say it yourself. Leave while your dignity is still intact. And watch how quickly he realizes what he's lost. That's the truth no one says out loud. The moment you stop chasing men is the moment they start chasing you. Not because you're playing games, but because you've finally realized what you're worth. Most women beg for attention when they should be demanding respect. You're not here to earn his love, you're here to evaluate it. If you've experienced this shift yourself or are just now discovering it, share your story in the comments. I read them, I respond, and I'm here for you, woman to woman. Let's build from truth, not illusion.